I was gonna talk about the censorship ordeal and all the stuff regarding to that and pretty much being of importance and everything like that, but I'm sorry, this episode of Nukitashi blew me. Not just mentally, but also with people on screen very physically when it comes down to it. This whole episode was basically a whole competition. And yes, I say it very specifically like that because it's not a competition, it's a competition. It is crazy. But when it comes down to it though, I didn't really know what to expect. Honestly, I thought this shit was gonna be half-assed, half-baked. Not necessarily that good of a watch, honestly, because Nukitashi kind of been a hit or miss in certain episodes in certain regards of certain things. However, they said, alright, you thinking we slacking? We're gonna show you exactly what this anime is about and crank this shit to the absolute 11. And they absolutely did that. There was so much tits, there was so much actual motion of just movement with the booba and just how you moved it with the meat. There was so much ass play that I was not prepared for this. Mentally, I was not necessarily ready. I was thinking, alright, this is gonna be a little bit of something here, not really much craziness, and yet they turned that craziness up to a level I have not seen since Interspecies Reviewer. First of all, and I just gotta mention this, they really shared that whole ass, like, what that device is, I guess like a butt plug or whatever. They really shared that USB plug just together with the main man and that one girl that's basically forgotten that's trying to lose weight. They both shared the same ass plug, trying to sneak that in to to check and steal information or delete certain things or whatever the hell the whole plan was. I'm sorry, I can't continue with the plot because I was distracted with the fact that you started up the whole damn episode with the man basically wanting that damn USB butt plug going up his ass. That was the first thing that broke my mind. The moment I heard it, he's like, yes, shove it in, do it, do what you need to do, it has to happen. I was like, this man has no shame. This man has no shame. You talking about people making fun of your dick size and you have all the shame in the world for that. You can't get hard. Oh, somebody looks at me, I can't get hard or nothing like that. But you have no problems shoving a whole ass, long elongated butt plug up your ass, and you thinking you gonna be like, yeah, this is the test right here, this is what we need to do. How you have no shame in that, but literally shame when someone else is trying to get you off and all that sort of stuff? That makes no sense whatsoever. That's the point of the damn show. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to have dumb shit like this where it doesn't make a lot of sense, and yet it absolutely does in the context of the show. Dude, there was so much action in this episode that it was honestly yet again ridiculous. There was a whole ass moment where basically the entire like field of people were just like, alright, we're gonna need some nice stroking off sessions with everybody, basically. Essentially where the boob play and everything kind of comes in. Everybody was just getting it in. I hope, and I really hope, that they'll release a H version of this show, and somehow in that H version we get to see everything completely uncensored, because what we end up seeing was, yes, it's still uncensored, but at the very same time there is also elements to it where it's just half of that. You're not seeing anything of any holes, you're not seeing any big long meat sticks actually poking out. You see that the sizes of like the whole mascot's head of, you know, how they try to censor stuff every now and again, try to do a different shape or whatever because of different motions that's happening. But ultimately, I really want to see an uncensored version. People that is watching this show and very much can interact with like the show itself or something, I really hope they do a ultra Blu-ray or some type of ultra version where you get straight up everything uncensored, get to see everything in its absolute entirety. That's not necessarily just censored just to be censored for censorship's sake and all that sort of stuff. I want to see everything because, you know, damn well they really did, you know, animate everything and draw out everything. You just can't see it because of obvious censorship rules and things of the sort like that, right? Just show me everything at that point. Give me all of that shit that you really can't show in the show, and give me that somewhere else so I can see it. And once again, we're about to dive back into something that really doesn't make sense of the show, or at least what the main character is trying to do. Essentially, he obviously doesn't like a lot of the pervert law that's going on, everybody clapping cheeks just because they can, and there's no love in all this stuff, or just how people can just be, you know, natural with it without even thinking about it for 5 seconds about what all this stuff is. Very much opposed and against the pervert law and all this sort of stuff, but at the very same time had no issues, or at least very much fell into the plan and trap of getting absolutely sucked off by Nasi when it comes down to it. Which, first of all, that would be a peak sucking section if I had to be honest. That would be absolute peak. But also at the same time, I didn't think that was gonna go that far. I didn't think that shit was gonna actually be a thing that happens, right? But it was, and it did, and it was absolutely crazy. The fact that she didn't deny the fact that, oh, you know, she swallowed some straight white cream at the crop of things, and then ultimately was just like, you know, maybe spat it out or something like that, or put it in some other vial or something like that. No, she's dead ass swallowed that shit. That's crazy work. Crazy work. Honestly, this is like the one other time outside of Image Feature Viewer where I'm just like, man, am I watching a Gentai right now? Because that's exactly what this junk really feels like when it comes down to it. I don't even know how this video is going to be edited, because I know damn sure I can't show you half of what happened in that show, if not most of what happened in today's episode. Because again, it was just that bonkers. The fact that we actually got to see some Nasi titties for the first time, it was amazing. It was peak. It's basically starting to turn into the anime that I would very much wanted to see off the jump. Right? This is the uncensored content that I wanted to see. It would be better if we got the full uncensored package of dicks and holes and everything, just as the whole package. But unfortunately, we just gonna get what we're gonna get, and hopefully maybe later down the line they'll release an ultimate version of it where we get to see basically everything in every piece of detail as it should be. But besides the competition, the ultimate goal was still get the footage, or like, not footage, but the files, I guess, from that whole office of the student council and whatever. And obviously the whole USB butt plug thing was essential to the plan. And so essentially, you know, the main character Kun essentially walked into the whole building, you know, looking really refreshed after he got literally all the nut that he needed to give to Nasi in her mouth, and he's feeling quite good about himself. But then this other lady comes through trying to be like, oh yeah, yo ass need to go back to the field because, you know, we out here doing the smashing dance. And essentially, he's just out here trying to confuse her, because the other girl that's basically forgotten half the damn time basically took that whole USB plug, tried to get the files for the guy himself, and essentially he's just trying to, you know, stall the damn other girl, trying to confuse her, waste time, basically make his penis talk like it's an actual person even though it's not, and try to throw out some confusing, you know, I guess like signals and whatever, getting her to basically show off them nice tits, and it's just craziness. It is just craziness, right? Straight up, it's just how it was. So basically they almost got caught, but they're fine. And essentially the girl that was forgotten, I can't remember her name, somebody let me know in the comments what her name is. But basically, she had the whole plug up her ass, and not washed, by the way. I assume it's not washed. She put it up her own ass. And Mans was like, I'm surprised you hit that. Well, I did stick a whole Bishoujo figure up my ass one time, so this was no problem. I was like, are you serious? This show is absolutely peak. It is absolutely wild and ridiculous, and I love it for the ride that it is. Was there even a plot to this episode? What did it even matter compared to everything else that we saw? I don't really think it did. And I feel like the author and writer basically just had, like, you know, a good time just piecing this shit together. You know, just absolutely making it what it is and just doing whatever the hell they wanted to. Because that's essentially what this whole episode was. How crazy and risky can we make this anime just straight up be? Now I understand why they said, oh yeah, when it comes down to, you know, what we can display on Japanese TV, now we're gonna have to, you know, use this big censorship logo with the mascot because things are gonna get ridiculous. And if that's the reason why they had to do what they did and basically pull off a nice boat sort of situation, then I get it, because that is wild. That is a lot to show on TV, and I'm so glad that they were able to just pull it off in this sort of way so we can at least get something more than just not getting anything. But like I said before, I do need a definitive ultimate version of Nukitashi where that version shows everything that without the mascot face and everything that it can possibly pop off with. Because I'm not going to sit here and lie. It's crazy that basically is just the way the animation of the show went, and it's crazy that it popped off the way it did. The fact that they went as far as to go into all the details that they possibly could is absolutely crazy, and honestly, it gets me hyped up to see even more of this show. It makes me want a season 2 before this season is concluded. I doubt they'll get a season 2, but damn it, I really want to see one. At this point, this is just feeding the streets. For sure, I can always have good times, and this is the reason why I very much like ecchi more than any other brand of things, is because it pushes the boundaries. It pushes absolutely what can be shown in anime and things like that, where other stuff just don't really do so. Yeah, maybe from a narrative perspective they can, but it's never going to push the boundaries like what an ecchi can do. And it's just so great every single step of the way. Nanase's beautiful boobs are just in my brain as a mental screenshot, and they're basically coded my whole damn brain as a wallpaper. I'm not gonna forget those anytime soon. But that's essentially, I guess, what I wanted to talk about today. I was gonna talk about other important stuff, but I ain't gonna cap, this took priority. This really took priority because of how crazy everything basically was. It's just that dang good. It just was that good. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, Kofi and Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's me, boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.